I'm making good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ethan Heath, and making this video. And I'm looking at everything that is going on, and I'm thinking, and I ask myself this question: what are we going to do as a people? Talking about black people, to make Africa and the Caribbean great. Because, years ago when I was younger, and I used to study black history, and I stumbled upon some books written by Marcus Garvey, and I was really amazed by his ideology when it comes to Pan-Africanism. And I wrote down some thoughts here ago that came to mind. And when we look at it at this present time, we see we in the Caribbean, we're still struggling from the aftermath of slavery and colonialism. The black Americans still struggling to find equality in a nation that they have slaved for and built. In Africa, the aftermath of colonialism and exploitation had left Africa divided. And so now we're living in a world that is changing. And so we have to find some passion for our own people and some pride for our own self. I mean, I really don't want to come across racist, as these thoughts come to mind years ago. I mean, to have passion for your race and love for your race is nothing wrong. Moses killed an Egyptian for one of his brethren. I'm not inciting violence. As Louis Farrakhan said to Mike Wallace, it is his passion. And so we see the world is changing, and we see where this US government cut off AIDS from Africa. And really and truly, this is a wake-up call in telling us that we have to stand on our own 10 toes. And we have to figure out something on our own to govern our own selves and find self-reliance and independence. And yes, we have scattered all over the place. But how are we going to rise up from the bottom of the socio-economic level as a people to be great? You see, everybody try to be great. America try to be great, want to be great again. Great Britain want to be great again. China want to be great. Russia want to be great. What is it Africa is doing and the Caribbean is doing in wanting to be great? We have to strive to be great too. Praise God. I'm also a minister of the gospel. So, it's just the habit of saying praise God. But we have to want to be great too. You understand? And as Peter Todd said, no matter where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you are an African. Praise God. As long as you're a black man, you are an African. And I admire this guy from, what's his name? Abraham something from Burkina Faso. I admired him for what he's doing, and he's very charismatic, and he seemed to reaching out to us to join him in what he's doing. Yeah, I admire what he's doing, but it's not the call now for a movement. Let me quote unquote. This is not the call for a movement at this specific time in history. It is a call for a government. It is a call for a government. It is a call for a federation. It is a call for a black federation. You understand? We have the capacity to do so. We have the numbers to do so. And we're scattered all over the world. So therefore, we have to build a government that is bigger than any other government. Sort of like a global federal government. That bigger than our local government in which we may reside in every jurisdiction. And I would say this federation have to be for three things: education, economical development, and for protection. It have to be for three things. And an example of a federation, I will say, is this: is that we have in every country, we have a leader. They choose a leader to sit on top of that federation. Different from the government where those people reside. You see, that federation, that person have to be elected. And that person that gonna sit on top of that federation should be, let me rephrase it. This federation must not have any influence of religion or political. No political influence or no religion influence. It should be solely for the development of our people. Economically, educationally, and protection. Free of any political and religious influence. That's the point I was trying to get across. And so now, one example now, if a person living in Africa, so for an example, one of those African nations, maybe Nigeria, maybe Zimbabwe or whatever, they choose a leader apart from the local leader to sit on top of that federation. Each country have a leader that those people from that country vote for separately from the regular government to sit on top of that federation. One person from Nigeria, one person from South Africa, one person from Tanzania, wherever. Same in the Caribbean. One person from Jamaica, one person from Barbados, one person from all of these different Caribbean island, African nation. Also in America too. You got one person, because anywhere where there is black people reside, they have to have a representative there to represent them that's seated on top of that federation. Also in South America, we have blacks in South America. Brazil, got somebody black from Brazil seated on top of that federation. Because one thing, those brothers and sisters in South America, they are suffocated amongst the brown people. And you don't see them unless there's a soccer game that they're playing or is a reggaeton video. And they live in the worst of condition. So they need some type of representation. They need some type of representation. Secondly, when it comes to economical development, we can have projects. Whatever money we collect, and I'm gonna talk about further down in this video how we can raise funds. Whatever funds we collect from within this federation go towards building projects all over Africa, all over the Caribbean, some place in South America, some place here in the America, some place over there in Europe. You understand? Anywhere where the black man live, he should have a representation there under the federation. And so whenever there's a project, whether that be Africa or in the Caribbean, a person in Brazil can apply to the federation. Once they are a member of the federation, they can apply to the federation for a job. That job can be in Nigeria, that job can be in the Caribbean, wherever. He can apply for a job. And he can be supported by the federation to go to that jurisdiction to work wherever the job is that he applied for, if he is qualified or if he gained the sponsorship to go there. But we have to give ourselves an opportunity to move around and to allow and to empower each other. Allow our money in the West to strengthen our brothers and sisters in the East. Allow the money in the East to come and strengthen the brothers and sisters in the West. You understand? We have to pool our resources, our money together, and let it work for us for the development and the benefit of our people, and to give our children privilege. You understand where I'm from? My point I'm getting to here is that we can move our people around. You understand? Or move them around. The Caribbean and African. One passport under the federation. That a person can live from the Caribbean and go to Africa and work, and a person can live from Africa and come to the Caribbean and work. Wherever there is a project, projects such as real estate development, whether it be restaurants, building restaurants, hotels, all of these things, we have to have a broad scope of ideology moving forward. You know, having our own airline, having our own banks, having our own cruise lines. We have to have a broad scope of ideology moving forward to improve our race. All hands have to be on the deck. I'm saying here, all hands have to be on deck. You understand? Maybe somebody else out there can articulate better what I'm saying, but I'm just putting something out there that somebody can have an idea. You understand? Within this federation, we have to have a constitution. Within this federation, we also have to have protection in terms of having agencies. Build agencies in every jurisdiction where if there is racial brutality or whatever, racial injustice, our people can report to that agency. You understand? Or whether they want to find a job, they can go to that agency. Or whether they want to relocate from where they are to somewhere else within Africa or the Caribbean, they can go to that agency. So we have to be strategic and organized in this time and season as a people. Else, somewhere along the line, history can repeat itself. Somewhere, our brothers and sisters can get persecuted, and we can't do nothing about it. Look what happened in South Africa years ago. Our brothers and sisters was down there getting persecuted, and we couldn't do anything. We have to stand aside and look. As what Bob Marley said, how long shall they kill our prophets while they stand aside and look? So we have to be proactive. We have to be proactive in everything that we are doing. As we see the world is changing, we have to do for our own. As Marcus Garvey once said, we cannot depend on another race to do for us. As Marcus Garvey said, hop up, you mighty people, accomplish what you will. You understand? So you see, yes, we go all over the world looking for an opportunity. There's one thing to look for an opportunity, and yes, we have to look for an opportunity when there is no opportunity in our jurisdiction or an environment. We have to move. But we have to also think about privilege. What about our children? We have to give them a different route and allow them to have the privilege that we see the Caucasian have. Privilege is something that we have to build. We have to work together and build. So in the long run, our children can live within that privilege and have freedom. You understand? But if we just looking for an opportunity, our children gonna do the same. So we have to build something. And it cannot just be one country within itself in Africa is not strong enough. One country in the Caribbean within itself is not strong enough. We're not strong enough to provide the opportunity for the mass number of people that we have. So therefore, I believe in that we have to create something that is bigger than ourselves. Create a government that is bigger than ourselves, which is a federation. And we have, and wherever, like especially in South America, where those people, you know, they live amongst the brown people, they can have a census. And they can choose a leader to sit it on top of that federation to represent them. Same thing all across the Caribbean. Same thing all across Africa. Hold a census and hold an election and vote for somebody to sit it on top of that federation. Also, we have to create communities all through Africa and all through the Caribbean. Create create communities where in which if a person leave from Jamaica and move to Tanzania, there's a community there he can go to. And he can go to that community and then he can have a job when the federation sponsored him to move to that community, gave him a job, and so when he find a job, then he pay back into the federation. Same goes if a guy leave from Brazil and he go to Nigeria and he find a job in Nigeria. There's a community there in Nigeria where he can be safe as he work or he studying in Nigeria, because the federation goal should be for three things, as I say: economical development, education, and also protection. You understand? The protection of our people. If we structured and organize and pool our resources together, then guess what? We can rise up above the socio-economic level. One country after another. One people after another. One Caribbean, one Africa. You understand? And we have I just put the numbers up with just Jamaicans. You have 1 million Jamaicans living in America. You have nearly 1 million living in England. Then you have 500,000 living in Canada. I don't even know the number of all the Jamaicans that scattered all over. But that's just Jamaicans. What about Haitians? I don't know the number for Haitians. I don't know the number for Nigerians and these other countries. It gotta be more. And if we have many educated people and many influential people, many people out there who really passionate and want to see that our people rise up. We have many people out there. And if we could get these great minds and put them on full-time salary, you understand, to get things organized and to go around and to make the awareness that this is what we need to do. And we have athletes, we have many entertainers, we have many people who are influential. more influential than me. I'm just putting my piece out there so that we can do something, because we need to do something. I'm just putting my piece out there. But we got many people out there who have influence in politics, who can put this thoughts of mine together, or something better than what I am thinking, in getting us all together. Because listen, if we can have our own banks, and if we put them, and if we can donate $1, at least $1, if each and every one of us across the Caribbean or across who is in America or wherever, just donate $1 towards building a federation for the improvement of our people, we can go far. Because look at it this way. We go into other people's country now. I'm in America. We go into other people's country and we pay taxes there. We contribute to their GDP. Why can't we contribute towards the improvement of Africa and the Caribbean and our people? We cannot depend on the local government for this. We got to form another government for this thing. And it is the call for a federation. The call for a federation. And I want this, what I'm saying here, do not stop here. You know, let's show some gasoline and let light this thing. The call for a federation. A global federation, a universal federation for black people. With the motto, no black man or black woman get left behind. The call for a global federation. I saw a video the other day that was disturbing. Very, very disturbing. I think it was some young black folks, Africans in France, Europe somewhere there. And there was a theater. And I guess they were just living in the theater. The migrants, you know, leaving from their country looking for an opportunity in France. And they kicked them out. And one of the guys said something that was so profound. I cannot see how these people come to our country and colonialize our country, but we cannot come into their country. My mama always said, take sleep and mark death. You understand? Everybody all around this world right now want to be great. They don't want immigrants or migrants in their country. So let us make Africa and the Caribbean great. One Africa, one Caribbean. God bless you all.